This is All About Home Construction, and here's your hosts, Terry Cannell-Beck and Randy Blake.
That's right. Good morning, Randy Blake.
Morning, Terry, and everybody out there.
Happy Saturday, my buddy.
Happy Saturday to you.
Yes, Randy Blake, the man who decided to not even worry about beans in a jar this year. He's just poured the whole bag of beans in the jar. Don't quite understand it, but...
No, I didn't put them in a jar. I put them in a crock pot.
Fair. So, yes, happy August. It's just been foggy, I think, every morning.
Well, you know, it's been foggy every morning in July.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So, but no, it's guess what? It's time for school. Back to school coming up pretty soon.
You know,
the last week for the kids.
I'm glad I don't miss it.
You know, you still wake up in cold, hard sleep. Think you missed a bus?
Yeah, you know what I did, don't you? We made sure we walked to school.
Yeah. Uphill both ways.
Yeah, in the snow barefoot.
Hey, you know.
No, if my dad found out that we didn't make the bus and we didn't walk to school, we definitely got it that evening.
Things were different, huh?
And, you know, well, where we live now, see, wasn't but a mile and a half from school. That wasn't too bad.
Right. Yeah, it's not so bad.
And but when we lived in Cove Creek, it was a little further to get to Cove Creek School. And then my aunt worked in the lunchroom.
So there was no getting around it.
No getting away with skipping school.
But yeah, last full week, the back to school festival going on, and of course, then school will start back not this week but next week for the kids.
And just remember, stop means stop with the school buses.
Right, that 30 seconds that you're going to try to save off of your trip to work or wherever you're going in the mornings is risking a life of a kid. So
it is, and you know that's pretty doggone scary.
Yeah. Especially around town when you're gonna get up to the same stoplight and be at the same stoplight with the bus.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, pay attention.
That's it. But no, it's good stuff. Good stuff. But last week you the breakfast went well at the VFW?
Yes, it did. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I ain't gonna mention the name of what breakfast I ate this morning, but it cost me the same thing this morning that it did if you'd have come to the VFW and eat.
Near as good, was it, and didn't fill you up?
Nope, and you got to eat all you can eat when you come to my breakfast.
I like it.
Well, it ain't necessarily mine, but it's a rock and roll kitchen.
I like it. Well, nice. So, I'm glad it worked out well.
And then I got requests for frog legs again for breakfast.
Yeah, so
I might have to pony up and get them.
You're actually going to do it, huh?
Yeah, well, I did it one Saturday.
Yeah, all right.
And I can't believe they eat every one I put out.
You know, I would do it. I mean, I don't know that I would request it, but if they were out and I was eating, I would eat one. I would eat one.
Have you ever eaten one?
I have. Yeah,
I like frog legs.
Yeah, I was a
but
kid,
you know, it is a meat lover's breakfast, okay? But we do have pancakes, French toast, and strawberry shortcake, and coffee, and orange juice. So there you go for the vegetarians. So.
That's cool.
You know, I used to have baked apples.
Yeah?
And because I always like fruit for breakfast.
I do too.
But we threw away more baked apples than you can handle. It just, you can take it and use it one time, vacuum pack it, and use it again. But after that, you got to throw it away.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, make a bunch of pies.
You know, something else I really liked growing up as a kid was a good slice of tomato with some country gravy on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, that was good.
No, you're getting there. You're getting there. I don't know. I've never been a tomato for breakfast guy. I mean, I love tomatoes, but
well, they're pretty good if you put a little gravy on them.
Fair. I just eat tomatoes. I mean, I eat them whenever, but I'm just, I don't know. I like my eggs and bacon and gravy and biscuits. So.
Well, I do too.
So, good stuff. Now I'm getting hungry, thanks.
Well, I'm trying my best. I mean, golly, you're a little far to drive for breakfast, but...
But, you know what? Next week, if I want to eat dinner, you're gonna give me the hookup there.
Yeah, we are. Next week's meal is we're going to have barbecue chicken thighs and pork ribs.
Ooh.
We have baked beans, coleslaw, corn on the cob, hush puppies. Oh, and I forgot the most part, blackberry cobbler.
Yum.
With vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, that's pretty good. All right. So that's next weekend, 7 days from now, right?
Yep,
And,
4 to 7.
4 to 7. And that's on the 15th, August the 15th, for those who didn't want to add 7 days to 8. But Randy's going to be at the Rock and Roll Kitchen, VFW, and here in Boone, and 4 o'clock. Get on over there, and yeah, that's great. I mean, it's a little bit different than some of the meals you've done recently.
It is. Now, we've never done this one.
Yeah, but it sounds good. I had some chicken wings the other day, and they were like this peach barbecue, like a hot peach, a habanero peach sauce.
Really?
Hot wings on them. That was good. I don't know. It just made me think about that because you got me thinking about food. But that was pretty good. So yeah, you have to look at that. You like hot sauce. You like hot barbecue sauces.
I'm making him hungry.
I know.
Squishing my bag up.
It is. My breakfast bar this morning did not apparently do it for me, but that's all right. That's all right. So anyway, all about home construction, though. We do appreciate everyone. I didn't thank you for listening to us yet. And actually, Randy, here in just a few minutes, we've got some tickets to Horn in the West to give away, a 4-pack of general admission tickets to Horn in the West. But you have to use it tonight. That's the key. Tonight's the last night, so we'll give those away here in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for that. Be thinking of a question that you have to ask Randy. That's going to be when I say ready, set, go. You're going to have to ask Randy a construction question to get these tickets. How's that sound?
Well, if you call the number, Terry's got to watch the phone.
I'm going to watch the phone. That's why I didn't say ready, set, and then the other word. Because if I say it now, someone's going to call. Anyway, no, seriously though, I've got these 4 packs of Horn in the West tickets here, so we'll ask Randy a question. You can have them. But everything else in the construction world treating you okay this week? Has it been an okay week?
Yeah, believe it or not, it's been a little rougher in the hayfields, being that you don't know if it's going to rain or flood or.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, well, construction the same way. You can be working and. They were out in Blowing Rock, and they were lucky. They got to watch the rain go around them.
Mm-hmm. So. Well, you know, there's been a lot of rain, not just in the high country, but in the region itself. You know, last week, just off the mountain, up in Mount Airy from us, there was this, you know, the half the not downtown, but it's the riverside. Half of that section, which is where the town has their municipality buildings and stuff. There's a really cool park over there. And it's right on the Yadkin River, and it flooded and destroyed some cars or some trucks of the, you know, the maintenance trucks, and took out a park. Mom and Dad was telling me the bicycle trail, the Greenway Trail that they have up there, it's like big sections gone now.
Wow.
So
well, you know what was really wild this week on the weather, Charlotte weather. Yesterday morning, and we're talking about we could get anywhere in the next 5 days from 1.5 inches of rain to 7 inches.
Yeah.
I've never seen a forecast like that.
Like, maybe you'll get wet, maybe you won't. I mean, but that's the way they do all the snow predictions, so why not with the rain? You may get a dusting, you may get a foot.
I ain't mowing hay in the winter.
So, but no, the weather's been kind of interesting. Have we got enough to officially get us out of the drought, though? That's what I don't know.
No, we're still in moderate.
Still under moderate drought. So,
well, you know as good as I do, when it rains as hard as it has, and sometimes
it just goes away.
runs off.
Yeah,
it's actually helping the water in the river recreate new eddies and stuff like that, because Helene just wiped the river out.
Right. Yeah.
And I worry more about the fish than I do anything.
Sure.
And there's not really anywhere for them to hide now, especially if you look at the rivers where they're doing the excavating.
Right.
And the way they're sloping the banks and stuff.
Well, and you know, we've talked a lot about that, where it's like, you know, the trees, do you have trees along the bank or do you not have trees along the bank? And, for flooding in terms of like trees falling in the water and damming up on bridges, yeah, you don't want them. But in terms of water health, it's kind of nice to have cooler water for the fish.
It is. It would be great to have big trees, which is just going to take a while to get the big trees back. I like the way they're doing it. They're doing it like a canal. They're banking it down, out, down, and they're putting trees on those banks.
Right.
Well, it's going to take 40 years for those trees to start cooling.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, but, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. No, I get it. So. Well, give us a call, 828-262-1567. The first caller to get on the air to ask Randy a question has a Horn in the West tickets for 4 people, 4 general admission tickets to Horn in the West tonight. That's the caveat. You got to use these tonight. So if you want them, 828-262-1567, and just ask Randy any random question.
Yeah, I'll try to answer it.
So we'll leave these phone lines open for that. So, yeah, but it's cool. It's cool. Tell you what, let's take a break. So give us a call. Thanks for listening to us. Is your landscaping looking tired, outdated, or just plain boring? Call CGB Landscaping. Carson, the owner, combines experience, talent, and creativity to transform worn-out flower beds into beautiful outdoor spaces that you'll be proud of. From fresh landscape designs to mulch to stunning water features that add beauty and relaxation to your property, CGB Landscaping can bring your vision to life. Best of all, his estimates are free. Don't settle for an ordinary yard when you can have something extraordinary. Call Carson today at CGB Landscaping, 828-775-4173, and see what a difference experience and passion can make. That's right. All about home construction here on WATA. Thanks for listening to us. And, give us a call, 828-262-1567, if you want this Horn in the West 4-pack of general admission tickets to Horn in the West tonight. So, cool stuff. Well, Brandy and I, we always, sometimes we get in some weird, conversations off the air in terms of, what we're going to talk about in the show. And some of them lead to some interesting rabbit holes. And I was telling him, this past week, Leslie and I went out to, towards Nashville and did some Civil War battlefield tours, which was pretty epic. Kind of enjoyed that. But one of the cool things we did is I'd never been on one of those paddle boats, that goes up and down the river.
Yeah.
And so she surprised me with tickets to go. And so we went on the Cumberland River there in Nashville on a paddle boat. And it went up the river and back down and stuff. It was pretty cool. I actually got to see this little cave in the river, which was the first European to stay in what we today call Nashville. And it's just a little cave in the side of the rocks. That's where he stayed when he came down the river to fur trade and stuff. It was pretty cool. Anyway, I say all that because we were talking about that there's this large concrete plant there on the river, and they push these barges full of cement and then barges full of sand and to make concrete, and it was just cool. So that's one of the rabbit holes I think we got into this morning.
Well, it's got to come from somewhere.
So, it's pretty cool. But then we also started, you and I were talking off the air this morning about, we got into some interesting conversations, and we talked a little bit about gypsum and potash and fly ash and lime and limestone. And it was pretty cool. So, let's just go at it. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's define concrete a little bit, because and I know that we say that we can think of concrete. I've got a sidewalk that's concrete. I've got the curb on the side of the road is concrete. But a lot of people mix up cement and concrete itself, and they're two different things.
Yep.
Cement is in concrete, but cement is I guess you would say the powder stuff that the gray powder stuff that you put in concrete.
Yep. It Well, there's a difference between concrete and masonry cement.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because masonry cement never gets as hard as concrete.
Right. Right.
And this last week, I was reading an article about why our cement, our federal buildings, state buildings, bridges and stuff only have a 50-year lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, which we know that we've got structures around here that's older than 50 years.
Right.
But as far as like municipalities and stuff, well, your building's only good for 50 years, so that's the reason you tear it down.
Right.
You know, and which we know that the Watauga High School, the old high school, didn't go 50 years.
Right.
But
Right.
they said that it was the repairs on it and stuff
Right.
would cost more than we needed.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and we're starting to see that with some of the older schools too, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we just built Valley Cruises. That partly was more flood, but still, you know, that's yeah. We're looking at rounds of talks of you know, at some point we've got to talk about other schools like Hardin Park and Parkway. So yeah, I mean, it's I get where you're going with that. But you know what gets me though is like you said, you know, today, 2026, you know, 21st century stuff, and yet we're concrete's lasting 50 years. But we can go over to Rome and I can take you downtown Rome and we could see concrete that's thousands of years old.
correct. Cement was first invented by the Romans in 200 BC.
Right.
That's a fur piece.
Yeah. Well, you know, so the Egyptians and the Greeks had something that was more like mortar that they were using, but it wasn't what we would consider concrete, right? Like the Egyptians had the gypsum lime base material they used in some of their construction. The Greeks had a lime masonry, for lack of a better word, mortar, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, but again, the Romans are the ones who's really using creating this concrete, and they're using lime. They're using volcanic ash, water, sand, stone, you know, some kind of stone aggregate. But I think that's the interesting thing, right? So today we're using the lime, we're using the water, we're using the sand, we're using the stone, but we tend to not use the ash.
Yeah, and well, we're using ash now, but
right.
Another thing the Romans had used that actually held up and actually made it stronger was seawater.
Mm.
And you know, we know that seawater, salt water, has salt in it, which will dissolve cement.
That's the silica for you, right?
Yeah.
Which was one of the rabbit holes that you and I were going off into before the show, because, well, we ran into quite a few things. We're talking about clinker when we were talking about limestone.
Yeah.
So limestone, of course, you mine limestone. By the way, side note, we found out there's a quarry in Wilkesboro that mines limestone.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't quite realize
I did not
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Terry did that.
Yeah, did not realize that, but according to the old internets, there's a quarry in North Wilkesboro. The Blue Water Industries is an operation associated with limestone and agriculture lime products. Complete side note there, but I thought that was kind of cool.
Well,
But most of the lime, though, especially for agriculture, your yards and stuff, is coming from Roanoke or Tennessee. By the way, in here in the high country. Anyway, it's, again, complete geological sidetrack there. But you take limestone, you crush it up, and you blend it with other materials, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and you put it through a kiln, and you get the stuff called clinker.
then it's got to be ground.
And then you grind that up. But in those the reason you're putting it through the kiln, right, is because you're getting that silica to react and other compounds, right, iron and things like that. But you're getting that to react with the calcium that's in the limestone. And so it makes sense, you know, when you're talking about the Romans and you're talking about salt water, they're adding silica to it.
Yep.
In on some level, and I'm not a chemist. I don't understand how they, at what point they bond.
Well, I think it's the manufacturing process because they have you ever seen a kiln for cement?
No, not for cement. No.
It's a big tube that can be well over 100 foot long.
Okay.
And that tube is heated up to 2,250 degrees.
Okay, and I've seen the big tubes. I guess I didn't realize that's
and that tube
what they were doing.
spins.
Yeah.
And as it turns, I guess the weight of the material in there helps grind it itself up. And when it comes out the other end, the molecular structure is changed because of the heat and makes it all bond.
So it's just like a big ball mill.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've got a little ball mill at the house. It's sold as a rock tumbler.
Yeah.
But that's really all it is. That's pretty cool. And so I guess it just works its way down, and you add a lot of heat to it.
Well,
That's interesting.
That's a lot of heat, 2,250 degrees.
It is. Yeah. But you're essentially making limestone lava, right?
Well, I don't know if it's not necessarily lava, but heating it to the point that it has to react with the rest of it and grind everything else up together.
And then, okay. But so here's the science for you. Here's the science nerd for you. Is that the limestone decomposes, and so you get calcium. What is CO3? I can't remember what CO3 is. Carbon dioxide, CO2, carbon trioxide. You take this calcium trioxide, and then you get calcium oxide from it and carbon dioxide from it. So there's your weird. I've just lost half of our listeners now, I'm sure. But,
well, it was pretty tough,
wasn't it? It's pretty cool, but no, I mean, I guess the whole point is like you've got these high temperatures reacting, the calcium oxide reacting with silica, alumina, and other iron compounds, and I say all that, you mix all this stuff up, and it comes together in these big blocks, these big rocks, if you will, called clinker. And then that clinker is what you now go back and grind into a fine powder. Sometimes you add some gypsum. Usually you add some kind of gypsum. And then you have Portland cement.
Yeah, and now we know that they add fly ash to it.
Right. Well, now we're looking at adding fly ash and other materials that we would consider waste materials to it to then make it more environmentally friendly, but also to cut down costs too. Like you have this stuff to use it, so why not? And by the way, the Romans are using ash from a volcano, so I would imagine that ash from a coal plant is an okay substitute.
Well, that's fly ash.
Yeah.
And, they're putting, I don't know what they're going to do when we quit burning coal.
Yeah.
Because, fly ash is in concrete as a plasticizer.
Right.
And fly ash actually makes the concrete slick.
There we go. Stuff we didn't know. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Thanks for listening to us. Obviously, by listening to this podcast, you see the value of All About Home Construction. Well, by joining our listener supporter community, you're not just tuning in, you're standing with us as we are able to support and fuel our passions of the construction industry. As a listener supporter, you'll enjoy exclusive perks, including hearing your name, or maybe even your business name, on our show. So please go to our Spotify website. The link will be in the show notes, and join. You can join for as little as $1 one-time fee, $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you think you can afford. Every single penny helps to keep this show going as we can continue to grow and do lots more things. Thanks a lot. And again, more importantly, thank you for listening to this. That's right, All About Home Construction. Thanks for listening to us. Happy Saturday morning. Don't forget, next weekend, the 15th, Randy Blake will be at the Rock and Roll Kitchen in the VFW cooking barbecue. Sorry.
Leg quarters.
Leg quarters.
Ribs.
Yeah. Barbecued chicken and ribs. And so that'll be fun. So go on over there next week. Make your plans now. Talking some concrete.
The stomach you might feel might be your own.
It might be.
Well, you know what? It helps. I got to commend Corey for changing the game room over.
Nice.
The dart players really like it. We'll find out here before long if pool players like it.
Sweet.
They'll leave my foosball table where it is.
Well, did you did you get do you still have the dart tournaments?
Well, that's something in the town of Boone that has disappeared a little because of COVID.
Right.
They after COVID, the dart league didn't really form back up. It's getting better.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of time. And, darts used to be a big thing here in Boone.
Right. That's interesting.
And we actually have two players in Watauga County that are ranked nationally in the dart league.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Cool. Well, good. I didn't. Had no clue. So there you go.
Yeah. And so that little Watauga County sports there from non-college people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, this last winter when they had the World Dart Championship, they played it every night at the VFW, but it went on for like 3 weeks because there was people from all over the world there,
That's cool.
And I'm thinking, well, no wonder it takes so long. You're only running one dartboard.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's okay. I mean, there's a lot of tournaments on TV that I haven't quite figured out. Leslie and I at the hotel the other day, we're eating and we were watching this. What is it called? It's a yard game, and I can't remember what it's called now, but it's like a bottle, it's a plastic bottle, but it looks like a beer bottle that sits on a stick, and you throw a frisbee at it. I don't know all the rules. I just know if you knock it off, you get a point, but then the other team can catch it and not give you a point. There's complicated rules. But my point is, there is a game on tournaments on TV that you throw a frisbee and hit a beer bottle and knock it down, and that is a tournament. And I was watching it because it was really interesting. So
brings a whole like disc golf.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna get into disc golf. That is something that it's funny.
You better hurry up because you're getting older.
It's funny you mentioned that because we were having this discussion driving about getting into disc golf. So anyway,
next thing you'll be doing paddleboard.
No, I don't know. That's a lot of work moving a boat in and out.
All right. Well, the concrete recipe was lost in 476 AD and wasn't rediscovered until the 18th, 19th centuries.
Okay. That's crazy. I mean, again, just something like that we have and that made such an impact, and it's just all like, we don't need it anymore. And yeah. So it's kind of neat, but basically it's because the I mean we what we call the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. Of course, there was still stuff going on, but that was not one of them, and so like you said, there's some Europeans who are looking at it and they're like, hey, these Rome guys 1,000 years ago was making stuff using this concrete. Well, let's figure it out. And they start to figure it out. And then by the 1700s, you start to get into hydraulic cements again, and the 1750s in particular, they're using them to build, to work on and to rebuild lighthouses in England.
But think about also the way that the English cut the stone. We see stone here laid in walls and stuff, but
right.
They're not cut like in Europe. Every piece of stone was cut and fit. So the mortar, cement, they used mortar, and but the joint wouldn't be that thick. And the reason there's a difference between cement and mortar is cement gets hard, it gets brittle.
Right.
Mortar's softer and can flex with the sun moving across the stone.
Right.
Expand and contract.
Yeah.
And one thing that most people don't ever think about is the engineering that goes behind this, because stone expands slower than cement would, or mortar.
Right. I mean, it's two different products.
Like we talked about the house I built back in late '87 or in late '80s, where the code called for us to pour every fourth cell. Mm-hmm. So actually, when you poured your concrete, you only had that rebar every 4 foot in the wall, but you had hollow cells, and so your stucco expanded faster on the outside than the concrete or the hollow core block on the inside. So you got stress cracks in your stucco.
Yeah,
it never fell off, but it's
but it's cracked, right?
Yeah. And that used to frustrate the dickens out of me. After that, that's when I started pouring all foundations solid.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it does. It reacts different. I mean, thermal mass and just the difference of the types of rocks. I mean, you're going to see a difference with limestone as you are granite.
Yeah. Impurities.
Yeah. So, but I think it's cool. I mean, when you think about it, though, like hydraulics, water, cement that goes underwater has always been fascinating to me in a way, because it's like, how does it work? Because you're adding water to mix this cement up, this concrete up, and now you're putting it in water and it still hardens, Yeah. I mean, I think it's just fascinating. I mean, obviously chemistry. Of course, in the 1750s, I don't know that they were calling it chemistry. Maybe they were, but I mean, that's really that's what he was doing. This John Seamtons is working on it in the 1870s, and like I said, he's building this lighthouse in England and experimenting with different types of limestone, and he realized that it contains a significant amount of clay that produces a cement that's hardening underwater. That's just cool. I mean, think about the bridges and stuff that we have, that if we couldn't harden cement underwater, we'd be in trouble. Think of the dams we have, that we would be in trouble.
Yeah, well, the bridges have changed. Instead of pouring a solid concrete tube like we have on land, a lot of bridges in the ocean are hollow.
Right.
The pedestals are hollow.
Okay.
But they can take. Have you ever watched them manufacture those?
No. I mean, I've seen them where they drive them in, you mean?
No, when they manufacture it, they have a steel cage. It already goes into a machine that is preset, and there's so much difference from the outside.
Okay.
But they also run cables through this. And they can take concrete and spin it at such a high revolution that the sand and the small aggregates go to the outside, which gets so tight, that's what keeps the salt water from penetrating the concrete now.
That's cool.
I talked to my uncle. He was a superintendent for Crowder Construction. They built dams, water treatment plants. He's actually a superintendent on the viaduct. And he was also a World War II Seabee in the Pacific.
That's
so,
cool.
And they had to build stuff over there. And but I asked him about salt water and concrete, because, you've been to places where they have concrete piers, and you see the spalling on the concrete, which you see it here when we put salt on our concrete here because of the snow.
Yep.
And he said when they used to use burnt limestone or linseed oil that they actually mixed in the concrete to help protect the concrete from the salt water.
Kind of make it somewhat water.
Not really water resistant, but kept it from the salt water leaching in and getting it out.
Okay.
Or getting destroying the concrete, because salt will destroy it.
Right.
But with them spinning those concrete pedestals at such high speed, they're actually closing the pores of concrete so the salt water can't get in.
Right.
But then you have the other factor, the microscopic organisms that attach to concrete that use it as a holding power, that if they can just get a little teeny
little foothold, right?
Yep, and then they'll hang on there.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Well, so in the 1820s, you got this Joseph Aspen dude, British bricklayer, and he's in England, and he's made this cement, if you will, mixed some stuff up and started mixing it up. The color looked a lot like some stone in the area. And so he called it Portland cement.
Yes, and that's not Portland, Oregon.
It's
that's
not Portland, Oregon.
England.
It's Portland, England.
And that's where it gets its name.
Portland cement, of course, becomes the foundation of what we would call today concrete, modern concrete. Yeah. So again, some cement is the binder to this Portland cement is the binder to concrete, and a concrete is basically you take water. You take cement and you add this aggregate, right? The aggregate is typically, sand and or gravel.
Yeah,
I think a lot of times we use sand and gravel around, for everyday construction, if you will.
3, 2, 1. There's your recipe.
There you go.
3 gravel, 2 sand, 1 cement.
There you go. So it's pretty cool stuff. Of course, then you can, now we can go back and we can add things to it like Randy was talking about, and still and make it harder and make it stronger.
Yeah.
And that's where the science comes in. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Thanks for listening. Are you looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment you need to get the job done? Look no further than Blue Ridge Sawmills. We offer the full line of Hudson sawmills and sawmilling equipment, from portable sawmills to skidding winches. At Blue Ridge Sawmills, we understand that every project is different, which is why we offer a wide range of sawmilling services. We can help you from everything from finding the right mill for your farm, hobby, or even your business. We also offer a variety of sawmilling supplies such as blades and debarkers, so you can get everything you need in one place. If you're looking for a sawmill dealership that can provide you with the quality equipment and the service you need, then come to Blue Ridge Sawmills. We're here to help you get the job done. Call or visit our Cana, Virginia store at 276-755-3833 or our Asheboro, North Carolina location at 336-964-8304. That's right. All about home construction. Thanks for listening to us, talking a little bit about some concrete and cement and all the fun stuff today. And
hey, cement can be molded into anything.
It's pretty cool. Statues.
Yeah.
Little cute little bunnies.
Sidewalks.
Driveways.
Yeah.
Basements.
Football stadiums. Have you seen what they're trying to do to the Charlotte Stadium?
Yeah, I saw the renderings of that, and I'm a soccer guy. I mean, I'm literally wearing the Charlotte FC shirt right now.
Oh, yes, he is.
And so, of course, and then they play at Bank of America Stadium because it's the same owners anyway. I get that everyone. I get the whole football should be played outdoors thing. I get it. Soccer should be played outdoors thing. I get it. But I also know that we're in North America, and the soccer league is in the next couple of years is shifting to a winter schedule to be with the rest of the world. And so, do I want to go watch a game in January in Charlotte even? Now, Charlotte's a lot more comfortable in January than Boone is, but do I want to sit out there and watch a game? I know how you are. I mean, I'll be there, but it would be a lot nicer to have some kind of indoor, field. And I mean, look again, not to harp on it, but just literally went to Nashville, and they're building the new Titans Stadium right behind the old one, and it's an indoor stadium. And guess what? They have the Super Bowl coming there in a few years.
Yeah, well, they're already talking to Charlotte about a Super Bowl down the road.
But they won't do it if they don't do indoor. That probably won't happen.
So,
unless you're Lambeau Field, and you probably won't have a Super Bowl outside. So
crybabies.
Look, it's all about money, man. All about money. But a whole stadium is concrete. I mean, look under even if it's a grass field, there's concrete underneath that turf. Concrete's that's all it is a pile of concrete.
Yep. Now, to give you an idea about the Roman recipe for cement, was lost in 476 AD, like I said before. 13 centuries before it was discovered again. And there's Roman stuff still standing today.
Right. That's so cool. So cool.
But they also don't have tractor trailers running across the bridge either.
Fair. But they also have 1,200 years of horses and cars running over it. So take it.
Well, it's pretty good.
But okay, so we talk about the volcanic ash in it, and again, we're starting to go back to types of ashes now, and fly ash, like we had mentioned, is this byproduct of coal-fired power plants, and so now they're starting to find ways to add this to help the chemistry of concrete. So you start the Portland cement starts the reaction, and then you can add this fly ash and then other byproducts, and you get this stronger concrete that's now using waste byproducts, right? We CO2. You had mentioned that they're pumping CO2 in it to cut down on emissions, but it also to help make the concrete harder.
Well, how everybody wants to be green. There's nothing wrong with that. They are actually, BP built a CO2 plant in Scotland that will take 1 million cubic feet of CO2 out of the air. And they're injecting it into the ground through mines, that they used to pump oil from. And CO2 turns into rock once it's compressed again.
Well, it's carbon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you take the oxygen out of it, and you're left with carbon, which is what coal is to begin with. So yeah.
Well, the only thing, they talk about our CO2 levels are so high. We're not as high as levels when the dinosaurs. Through the history.
Right. Yeah.
And but if we have to have CO2 for the plants, wouldn't it be better to plant more trees? The South is. That we're the most renewable area in the whole world is in the South here.
Yeah. Now, that of course that's the debate, right? But I don't know. That's a whole environmental debate. Is the emissions man-made, or the rise rather man-made, or is it natural? Because we got a lot of volcanoes going off in the world.
Yes, we do.
So I don't know. I guess that's another topic for another show. But sticking with concrete, I think it's cool though, because whether we want to build it as environmental, whether we want to build it as resourceful, I like reusing things, right? Especially byproducts. If you've got something that goes to waste, that's just who we are. Like you how many times do you use like a cutoff of construction materials instead of just throwing it away? You're trying to find a way to use this, right? It's the same thing, and so they're now using these steel slags and slag steel. Excuse me. So when you're blast furnacing, you're creating steel. You're left with this slag, this byproduct, like the junk, if you will. They're now starting to put that into concrete as aggregates.
I'd say it'd be extremely hard.
Right. It's a primarily an aggregate that's replacing, that's adding to, rather not replacing, but adding to this Portland cement, creating concrete. And so what you're left with is this super hard, if you will, road or concrete that can be used for things like roads.
Even concrete wears, highways. And but it's almost like, I was watching it when we went to Oklahoma. They were pouring all the roads out there out of concrete.
Right.
And they were about 8 inches thick.
Sure.
But with the tires and stuff, just the vehicles moving and bouncing deteriorates the concrete.
Right.
Because if you've been across bridges of concrete.
You can feel it, yeah.
The worst bridges in North Carolina is going to the Outer Banks. because you get on that going.
That's some of the largest or longest we've got. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can fill it and well, where is it? There's that famous from like the 40s, I think it was, the famous bridge up in
Washington State.
Yeah, Washington or Michigan, I can't remember where. But you see it like the wind catches the suspension bridge and it's going back and forth until it like literally twists and turns upside down and falls down. Right? I mean, that's even the best made bridge wants to do that.
Well, did the dog make it or not on that bridge? Remember the video?
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah.
That's the reason the Mackinac Bridge is totally changed. That bridge right there totally changed construction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which probably that bridge right there saved the construction on the Golden Gate Bridge.
Probably.
The lessons that they learned from that.
Probably. Yeah.
Expansion and contraction.
Yep. No, I mean, but well, and that's the problem though when you're talking about, I was talking about steel slag is that's one of the downsides to it is when you use that is it expands and contracts differently.
Yeah.
But anyway,
harder the concrete, the smaller the expansion.
Right. But again, like we were talking about with the mortar, right? Like each material expands differently than others, and so you kind of you got to play around a little bit with it. But that's the science behind it. That's what I like. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, but again, I think it's just important to kind of know a little bit about like concrete. I mean, it's fun. It's used every day. It's used all over, and so it's certainly a big building material. And just the way that it's manufactured, and yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have the buildings. We wouldn't be literally in this building without concrete.
Well, there's still some engineering that has to go into it. And to give you an idea, there's 42 volcanoes going off right now around the world.
That's letting off a lot more CO2 than the cars.
Yeah, and water vapor and carbon dioxide are the two most common gases emitted by volcanoes. Right. So one volcano will probably emit more CO2 than all the cars in North America.
Right. So,
plant more trees.
Plant more trees. I like trees.
You know what eats more carbon dioxide than trees? Hemp.
It's been a long time. We did a show on hemp. But yeah, you're right. Well, hey, don't forget, as we wrap up the show here, give us a call, 828-262-1567. Got another 4-pack of tickets to give away here at the end of the show. We'll get you as soon as the show's off. And Horn in the West tickets for tonight, if you want them, 828-262-1567. Don't forget, making your plans for next weekend, the 15th. Randy has VFW Rock and Roll Kitchen, barbecue chicken and rib dinner. So don't forget to start making plans for that.
Yep, and I got the mutts helping me.
Nice. Well, good stuff. So that'll be fun. We'll talk more about that next week. But until then, have fun, Randy.
Yeah.
And enjoy your week. So
get your beans out. I'm not going to put mine. Like I told you, mine's in soup.
I just give up on it altogether. Thanks for listening to us, and we'll talk to you next time. Randy, see you later, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All About Home Construction. We air every week on Saturday mornings on WATA in Boone. Please like this podcast, comment, share it. Hey, let everybody know where you found it. Thanks for listening.